Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with another video. Today we are talking about Path of Exile for a change. I had actually never played Path of Exile. I had always heard of it. I had always heard that it was, for lack of a better term, like a spiritual successor to Diablo 2, something that stuck a little closer to the formula than, Diablo 3 did, and something that, just generally speaking, was supposed to be something that was supposed to be a more, for lack of a better term, customizable experience. Diablo 3, ever since the start of seasons anyway, has always been about set bonuses. The set bonuses make or break your character, and without your set bonuses, you can't really do anything. At least anything endgame content. Path of Exile is a lot different than that. Path of Exile, everything seems to be based on your gem selections. Your gems are what decide your skills, how much damage your skills do, all kinds of stuff like that. I didn't play long enough to, get a full sense of the end game and, everything that there is to do in the game. Basically, I got about 5 or 6 hours into the game and just got to a point where I was kind of overwhelmed. One of the biggest strengths of Path of Exile is the customization and being able to choose what you want to do. But at the same time, that's also one of the game's biggest weaknesses, because, dear Lord, it's complicated. And I spent the first probably hour and a half of my game trying to figure out what I was doing beyond just walking up to something and auto-attacking it, because I didn't know that you had to equip these gems to be able to, use any spells, basically. It's just very complicated, just lines after lines after lines of text on every single item. And I mean, if you're into that, if you want a more customizable experience, then yeah, Path of Exile is probably a good choice for you. If you want something that, maybe is a little bit less focused on, specific set bonuses and building your character around those bonuses, then, Path of Exile is probably a good choice for you. Be 100% honest with you, I didn't have too much fun playing it. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, it's just that the entire time spent, I was just thinking, this is really complicated, and I should just go back to a game that I understand. And, there is some complexity to a game like Diablo 3, and of course, throughout this video, the main games I'm going to be comparing are Diablo 3 with Path of Exile, because those are probably the two biggest action RPGs on the market right now. Of course, Path of Exile is free to play and is a whole different deal than Diablo. But yes, there's these games like, I think it's called Wolcen, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Last Epoch, again, not sure how to pronounce it. You can also play, but for the most part, the decision comes down to Diablo 3 or Path of Exile. And Path of Exile just doesn't really seem to be for me. I got to about level 20. I still intend to play it with my friend Jamie. He's the one that convinced me to download it and, play in the first place. I'm willing to, keep playing with him, but at least as far as solo goes, I don't foresee myself continuing my journey in Path of Exile. I couldn't really get the hang of the incursions. Going into the temple and doing the little temple runs. I just couldn't really get the hang of it. It just seemed like you were just running in, killing things for 5 seconds, and then getting kicked out. But again, I don't have a good understanding of the end game of Path of Exile. I don't have a good understanding of a lot of the game. And so, honestly, I probably didn't play long enough to give, my full thoughts, my full opinions. And I don't by any means say that this is a bad game. It's just not something that I personally was really drawn to. It's not something that I personally felt like I needed to continue playing, So, if anybody has any thoughts about Path of Exile, absolutely leave them in the comments. If I missed something, if I wasn't getting something, I'm more than willing to go back and try and play Path of Exile again. But at least upon my first, I think I played like 5 or 6 hours, just wasn't really my cup of tea. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, things that you think might help me play Path of Exile a little more, by all means, leave some comments down below. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about this. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I'm out.